Sir, if you can comfortably and safely testify without your mask, that would be my request. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Zach Reed, Z-A-C-H-R-E-E-D.
And how were you employed in July of 2021?
I'm the HVAC salesman for, then it was Landmark Heating and Cooling. Now it's Alcivia Heating and Cooling.
And it's kind of an odd question, but what do you drive in the capacity of your work?
Ford Fusion.
Okay. What color?
White.
Okay. And sometime prior to July 7th, 2021, was a work order put in to get a quote for some AC?
Yes.
And specifically for the Oak Springs Circle address?
Correct.
Okay. So what exactly were you supposed to do there?
They were looking for a mini split unit, which is just a form of air conditioning for a house with a boiler.
Okay. And on July 7th of 2021, did you in fact go to the Oak Springs address in Windsor, Wisconsin?
Yes.
About what time did you arrive?
I think around 11:45.
Okay. And what time was your appointment, if you remember?
Noon.
Did anybody greet you right away at 11:45?
No.
Okay. At some point, did someone greet you on the property?
Yes.
Tell me about that. What time did that occur?
I don't know exactly what time it was. I had knocked on the door. I was running a little ahead of schedule, knocked on the door, no answer. Went back in the car, started just doing some paperwork, and then someone pulled up. So I just waved. They waved back, kind of got my stuff, my quote stuff ready to go, got out. He was out of the car at that point. And then I said, introduced myself, hey, here for a mini split quote. He said, I don't know what that is. Told him, form of air conditioning for house with a boiler. And then he told me that he had just reported his parents missing. They didn't come back from up north. And I was like, oh, do you want to reschedule this? And
do you know at this point who you're talking to?
no.
Just, it seems to be the child of the missing parents.
In my mind at that point, it was just a kid who had reported his parents missing. Yep.
I don't know if you'll see that person in the courtroom. Do you think if you saw that person, you would recognize them?
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I would ask everyone who's not in the jury box to please remove their mask for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You can replace masks.
Do you recognize the person you talked to in the courtroom today? And if you don't, that's okay.
Don't know that I saw everybody.
Okay, that's fair enough. Anyway, so the person maintained that they lived at the house that you had went to on Oak Springs?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do next after the person told you that he just reported his parents missing?
Asked him if he wanted to reschedule. He said, no, it's got to get done. We started walking towards the house, and then the dog started to bark, and he kind of stopped. And he said, oh, the dogs. And he was kind of just froze. And I was like, are you sure you don't want to reschedule? Got a lot of things going on. And he said, can we do that? And I was like, yeah, not a problem. And then that was it.
How would you describe the demeanor of the person that you interacted that day in the driveway of the Oak Springs address?
Kind of just stressed, I guess. Like he was hearing me, but not really processing what was going on.
Okay. And did you notice anything else about the home that struck you as unusual or just noteworthy?
Yeah, when I was standing at the front door before all of that, I just noticed it looked like the dryer vent came out of the front of the house, and it looked like someone had tried to maybe tape it shut or close it, which in our industry could be weird depending on the type of dryer.
Okay. Did you notice anything about any of the windows in the home?
Yeah, all the windows were open.
No other questions for this witness.
Cross-examination.
Yes, thank you. The individual that you had an interaction with that day, was that your first time you had an interaction with him?
Yep.
And as far as the request to go to the home and see the unit or to talk about the unit, do you know who made that request?
I believe it was Bart.
And that individual that you spoke to was not, that individual you spoke to that day was not Bart.
Was not what?
Was not Bart, the person that made the request.
Correct, yeah.
And when you were there, we're talking about July, correct? Was it hot that day?
Yeah, I suppose.
And was that your first time that you had gone to that location?
Yes,
So you don't know what that location or what the house looked like up until that day?
correct.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused and released.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good remainder of your day.
Too.